everyone. I'm in my living room today. Hi, Panda. No, what did I miss? What are you guys talking about? Can you guys hear me well, by the way? I think it says my mic is on. Hello. Welcome. Who is here? Gothenburg? Gothenburg. Hi, Gothenburg. How are you? Panda, Ben. Nano? What are you guys talking about? Nano is not a Vulcan. Panda. Different backgrounds. Nice and clear. Okay, good. I'm low? Panda says I'm good. Ben says I'm low. Thank you for inviting your fans, Panda. I have some coffee here. This is my first time doing the setup on my computer, so excuse me if like my video and audio stuff are not fully set up. Nano is from Mork and Mindy. Thank you, Panda. Ben, I am so lost. I don't know what you guys are talking about. And thank you for my plants. I love plants. I think since living in New York, because I don't have access to like grass in a backyard, I just really love plants. Fabian, hi, how are you? And thank you for that heart. Thank you, and all the likes. You reproduce spider plants? I had a spider plant and my cat ate it. I was so sad. It was like a really nice lady that gave me that spider plant, and she was growing them, and I was really taking care of it, and then Cutter, my cat, chewed it up. You have to show me pictures of your spider plants. Mork and Mindy's a spin-off from Happy Days. I don't know too much about Happy Days. Like, I know the show, and I'm pretty sure I catched it like a couple times when I was young. But I never really like watched a full episode, I think. But now I'm intrigued. Is it really funny? They're so easy to look after. I know. It was doing really well. Like, it was a propagation that the lady gave me. She just like cut it off and told me how to like take care of it. And I came home and I was taking care of it, and then he chewed it. Which is, I sure have a bunch of them. I even gave them away. Oh, that's so nice. I think plant gifts that you like propagate are so special. There was a lady one day giving out little succulents, like tiny baby ones, and we took one home because she was just like, I have them, I just want people to be happy. And we took one home, and she's doing really well. But this is the reason I know I came here to talk about food, and then now I am here's my coffee that I still have not finished from this morning. I have some apples going on here too. I came on here to talk about food, and I'm talking about plants, but I really love plants. I love the minimalist setup. Who's in charge of the interior? Oh, thank you, Panda. I think both of us. I would say like my Pinterest board pretty much looks like this, but I would say tech guy really is the one that has like the final say. He's way more picky than I am in regards to like where we place items, so he has a big influence. But like my aesthetic, I would say, is very like just clean, minimalistic, white, grays, neutral sort of colors, you know. I figured I wasn't gonna be cooking, so I like set this up, and I'm on the computer, so hopefully it's like better video, because when I'm in the kitchen, I think the buffering through the OBS and the laptop are just like not the best. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, this is my living. Oops. These plants right here, it was actually a propagation from that one, and I actually have a story about that plant. We went and bought it. It was so beautiful. It was so inexpensive. Um, and it was from Home Depot. I don't know if you have Home Depot where you're at, Panda. But we went and bought it, and it's New York City, so we're like in the middle of the city. We get a cab. I'm in the back. I'm like hugging on this plant, like trying to make sure that she's like not falling on the cab ride home. And this Home Depot is pretty far. It was like maybe like 30 minutes from where we live. Yeah, it was like a 30-minute drive. And so I'm like hugging it, and we're like really trying to take care of it so it doesn't like fall apart or break on us or something. And we get home, we set it up. We magically happen to have that planter already, so we like replanted it. She's looking beautiful. We're like hoping she doesn't like fall apart, right? Because sometimes plants don't like it when you like repot them. And then 2 days later, it's in the morning, and for some reason, tech guy decides to go towards the plant. He was gonna like say hi to it or something, and we noticed that there's a huge spider web with the biggest, I mean like this big black widow on it. It was so humongous. And I mean, it's a black widow. I'm not scared of spiders. I love spiders. I think they're actually really, really beautiful, even black widows. But it's a black widow. Like, our cat or my daughter could have like touched it and gotten bit. Thank you for the 10. And like we couldn't like think like how did we not get bit? Like literally the universe was taking care of us because we were touching this plant for a long time on the cab ride, and then like repotting it and everything. And she had made herself really comfortable. Like her spider web was beautiful. She must have been building it like overnight, and she was happy. We like went and looked, and she like did not even flinch. She was like, I'm home. But of course it's a black widow, and I hate killing spiders. Normally I just like take them and put them outside because I just don't want to hurt them. The spider get free rides. Yeah. And we end up like, we had to make a decision. Like I was scared that if we try to like grab it and flush it down the toilet, she'd like crawl back up, or I don't know. We just didn't want, our daughter or our cat to like get hurt. And so we ended up like smashing it really fast with the shoe, which I felt bad for, but it had to be done. But then we started inspecting the plant because I was like, what if like she had babies in here? Like what if we now have a black widow infestation, right? And we like go and we're looking through all of the the parts, what are they called? Like I guess the leaves, each one of the actual like spider plant stalks. And right in between, like in the very, very middle of it, there was this humongous like nest that she had built, like the egg sac. So she had built this beautiful like spider web, and right in the middle was one of the most gorgeous like egg sacs of spiders I have ever seen. I don't know if you've ever, like, if you're on the internet and you can like search up, maybe I should show you guys what a spider sac of like black widows looks like. Do it. It's gorgeous. It's like, it looks spiky, like almost like what people draw the coronavirus to look like. I don't know. It's like really beautiful. It's like this beautiful thing. Did I take pictures? I don't think I did. I think we're just like trying to figure out what to do with it. But we ended up like, I was scared to touch it because I've never dealt with one. I'm like, what if like I touch it and it rips and then like hundreds of spiders come coming out, because I think there's like hundreds of them, like over 100 little tiny spiders could be living in each one of those egg sacs. And we didn't know what to do, especially it's like right in the middle. Like I didn't want to grab it, I want to poke it. So we like really calmly tried to like meticulously rip around her spider web that she had it in. And we ended up dropping it really quick into like a bowl, and we threw it and flushed it down the toilet immediately. Thankfully, blowtorch. See, I thought of that too. That was actually Tech Guy's first thought. He's like, we should just like put it on fire. But what if like not all of them burn? Like what if they would have just like burned around the egg sac, and then the babies just started like floating everywhere. Like that was a concern. And there's plenty of them in your garden. Wait, black widows in your garden? Panda, I'm concerned for you now. And so we ended up just like flushing it down the toilet. Thankfully, like the egg sac was intact. It's actually really, really like strong. Like her spider web in general was really like, I was surprised by how tough it actually was. Like even trying to like remove it was something else. I've never had to do that. Like I've seen black widows before, but never had I had to like deal with one. And it was, Louise said that's scary. Hi Louise, welcome. Yeah, I mean, I love spiders. Like I don't really have fear of most like insects or anything, but I was just scared that, it's one of the spiders that like could actually like kill you or cause, like you could actually die. Fabian said, I'm in and out of the conversation. First food, then spiders. I know, I told you guys I'm coming on here to talk about food, and I'm just talking about spiders and plants. What if the spider a good diver? That too, right? I don't know if it's black widow. I think it's a house spider. I hope so, Panda. I mean, I think if I'm correct, and if you guys know more about spiders than I know, I think there's two that could really harm you, which is the black widow and the brown recluse. I think that's how you pronounce it. Those are the two that could actually like really hurt somebody, and some people could be allergic enough to die. So like, yeah, it was scary. Yes. Yes, take pictures. I love spiders. Ben says it's true. I always know when I crawl through a black widow web when I'm under a house. The web is so tough. It is, right? Yeah, you must, in your kind of work, Ben, you must actually find a lot of them. I think the only other time I had one in my house was like when I lived with my parents. I was a teen, like early teens, and my mom happened to have one like inside of one of the cupboards in the kitchen that she'd never really touched. So I guess it just made a home there. But yeah, like we really had a tough time like cutting it. Like also because I was trying not to just like drop this egg sac and make it go everywhere. But now I know that the egg sac's actually really, really like padded. Those spiders work hard and do well. They usually run away. Really? See, this one looked like she was having the time of her life. She was like, I'm happy. This apartment's my home. She was just like it was like from the plant to the wall. She made a beautiful home. I mean, I do think it's pretty. I've always wanted to have a tarantula, but nobody that I've ever lived with has said yes to that. We cooking spiders today? Hi, Sakharin. No, we're not cooking spiders. I'm actually not cooking today. I came on here to see if you guys had any questions about food or recipes or anything in the kitchen. I'm drinking my coffee. I have some apples, and Panda was complimenting the plants that I have, and I was telling a story about the spider that lived in that one. How are you doing? How is everyone else, by the way? I didn't really ask you guys how you're doing when I came in. You have a question about cast iron pans? Yes, I would love to answer your question. Panda says, I'm good. I just sat down and chill, and it's been a busy weekend. That's good. Busy as in like having fun, or did you have to work? Of course, I'm building a home. Any recommendations for cookware and knife sets? Ooh. Fabi, I'm going to think about this one and I'll answer it. Oh, Sakharin, thank you for the 400. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Is this coffee? Yes. I made a oat latte this morning. And actually I didn't make it. It was made for me, but I haven't finished it. So Ben asked about the cast iron. What is the best way you found to clean them? Really good question. I'm a really big fan of my cast irons. Okay. So definitely, if you can purchase one that's already been cured, I highly suggest that. I know some people sometimes will go and get them like secondhand, which is really good, but for first time users, I wouldn't necessarily recommend that because you are gonna have to spend some time like curing them before they work to your benefit. As far as cleaning them, I go by The Lodge, which is one of like the biggest brands of cast iron skillets. Lodge recommends that you obviously don't use soap unless you absolutely must. So I think that would be the first I would say. Try to never use soap if you can avoid it. Obviously, there may be a one-time case where like nothing works and you just have to use it. Like try to work with it really quick and then that's it. But soap really does eat through them, so avoid it as much as possible. I would say anything that can scrub the pan without removing the seal is your best friend. So whether that is a brush, I honestly really like brushes. Like, like those, I don't have one with me at the moment, but like any type of brush that you have that's not going to like, it's not made out of metal or something. Any sort of brush that you can just keep scrubbing until all of like anything that got stuck to it, any sort of sediment can be removed. A lot of people like working with salt. I've used salt several times, but quite honestly, like I feel like you end up wasting more salt than if you're just using a brush and spending your time. Depending on what you've been cooking, it'll be easier. Sometimes even just a paper napkin. I do say that it makes a big difference whether you clean it right away, like right after using it, than if you leave it there for a while. So if you just made something that really created some sort of like something that got really stuck to it, like let's say something was sugary and it got stuck to it, right? The quicker you put it in hot, like I will take it and put it in hot water and scrub immediately, and it will lift up right away. And right after you get it wet, which is totally fine if you use water, you just don't want to leave water in it for long periods of time. So that's the secret. You can use water, especially for me, hot water on anything greasy that was on it works so well. But the secret is that you have to immediately use paper napkins or whatever towel you want to use and remove the water. As soon as you remove it, put it back into your stove and make sure that, turn the heat on and make sure that all of the water that was on top of it gets dissolved or evaporated. Not dissolved, but evaporated. And that's the best way. If need be, it's now hot again, right? Because you just put it in the heat. Add a little bit of oil again. Just enough to cover it. You don't have to cook it. You don't want to cook it. Enough that it's hot so it sticks. And then you store it. And that's it. I hope that was helpful. Thank you, Ben, for all the 10s. I hope that helped. But yes, no soap. Hot water is your friend. Just make sure you dry it. And brushes. Anything that can help you scrub. What else did I miss? Fabian, I'm still thinking about knife sets and cookware. I don't want to tell you something that's like not going to be helpful. Panda said he was busy. Fun and entertaining little pandas. Aww. I'm so glad that you had fun with them. Jet wash, baking soda. Yeah, baking soda is a good way too. Panda makes a really good suggestion. Like it works really well. I do think just be careful that there wasn't something acidic, because then with the baking soda and the acidity, like you might start breaking down the seal, and you don't want to do that, Alex. You are funny. So, do I want to marry you? No, thank you, but that's really kind of you. There's adoption. Oh, no problem. Why do I have massive coffee? It's not that big. See, it's not that big. It's just a little 6. I think 6 ounces fits in here. Is actually less of a latte and more of a flat white if we're being technical. Some use Coca-Cola. Yeah, I've heard about the Coca-Cola and the cast irons, but I really don't think like any of that is necessary. Like if you just take care of them enough that you remove the excess water and you don't use soap, then like usually they're really, really easy to handle. I would assume that the Coca-Cola would like break through the seal, and you really don't want to do that. Also, Avocado Slayer, I love your username. I need to go shopping, but before I leave, make a selection. A or B? Okay, what's A and what's B, Fabian? Oh my gosh, Fabian! Thank you so much. You really don't have to do this. Oh, Fabian. Also, how big is that thumb? Fabian. Jeez, oh my gosh. You really don't have to do that, my friend. Oh, can everyone hashtag Fabian, please? Oh, Fabian. Okay, well, I will send you a DM and let you know what I would suggest for like a whole cookware set of knives and stuff. Oh. Okay, I will let you know, but thank you. You really did not have to do that. And yeah, I will keep my Instagram in case you find something, and then I'll help you. Gold thumb. Uses heat to burn it off in water and scrub it off. Yes, basically. Different techniques. I tried it right away, but it does sit. So I like to boil it. Ooh, okay. I could see how that would work, Ben. Like, especially if you don't clean it right away. Yeah, the boiling would work, and then you just scrub it. I find that the natural fiber brushes work really, really well, and especially if you have not the ones that you grab, like, you know, it's like the brush and the knob on top. Those, like, I feel like you can't really like get the right pressure, but if you use the ones that have like the longer handle, those like clean off really well, I think. But I like your technique. Any other questions? I think I will have to answer Fabian's. Maybe I'll briefly talk about it too on here. I don't know if I would necessarily recommend like a specific brand. And I think it's also really personal. Like, I really like cast irons because they'll last you for a lifetime. Like, they will just last you forever. And depending on like the different sizes you get, you can cook different stuff. You can put them in the oven. I just think they're so versatile. They last long, and they're non-toxic. So it's one of my favorites to use. If you want something that is like non-stick, the brand I think is called Siphon. Hold on. I think it's Siphon. Cookware. Let's see. Oops, sorry guys. Calphalon makes really good non-stick. Safflon? Yeah, no, I just looked it up. It's Calphalon. I'll type it up. They usually make really good non-stick stuff that I think lasts. Like, sometimes you'll find some non-stick stuff that like will scratch off like in a month or two, and that sort of defeats the purpose of it, because that means that the chemicals are leaking into your stuff. I know there's all sorts of theories about how it doesn't hurt you or whatever the case, but there's also a lot that says it does. So I play it on the safe side. I try not to use nonstick, but I do have one from that brand, and that's usually the one that like I'll use if I want to make like an egg that like a not like a really beautiful sunny side up, but not fried. The fried ones I can make those easily on cast iron, but yeah. Oh yes, they're a well-known brand. Yeah, they're really well-known, and I would say those are the ones I would recommend if you want to use nonstick. And then as far as knives, I know Panda, you've asked me this question before. It's very low. Ooh, okay. Maybe I need to get closer to it. Is that better? Or let me turn up my mic. No, it's all the way up. Okay. I probably just need to get closer. I know it's fine. Okay, good. Yeah, Panda, you've asked me this question before about knives, and I would say it's such a personal choice on what types of knives you'd want to have. And I don't think you need to have like 1,000 different knives for 1,000 different things. I think having like a really good chef's knife and some type of like utility knife, or like a, oh my goodness, I am forgetting the word now, a small what is it called when you like are removing like a really small one. Oh my gosh, I can. Big dude, you can't hear me. I'm sorry. Combat knife, turkey carver. Not a turkey carver. Yeah, like a utility knife, or it's not a searing knife. Oh my goodness, why am I forgetting the names of it? I'm really forgetting the names. But yeah, like, okay, here it is. Not a bread knife, not a carving knife. A paring knife. There you go. Sometimes my English fails, guys. I apologize. Yeah, like not a peeler, but a paring knife. So yeah, like some type of chef's knife, a utility knife, and a paring knife. Those are usually the ones that I would say you need. Like, I don't think you need much more than that, unless it also depends on your cooking, right? Like if you are a person that maybe, I don't eat any animals, so I don't have a need for like a cleaver. But let's say that you're constantly barbecuing or something and buying large pieces of animal. Whew. You probably would need one, right? I have like a vegetable cleaver that I love because I work with a lot of vegetables. That's like my main food ingredient. So yeah, it just depends, I would say. Combat knife? Combat knife. Let me look it up. Am I... Oh, I don't have... I'm like, is this for the kitchen? Yeah, no, I don't know if I could tell you about a combat knife. I wouldn't be the best person to answer that question. Vegetarian this weekend, says Panda. Oh, that's nice. I feel like you eat a lot of plant-based, Panda. Like, I feel like most of the times when I ask you, it was something plant-based that you ate. Have you always eaten this way, like more of a flexitarian diet, or is that a recent thing? Sunshine says, I am veg for life too. Oh, yay, Sunshine. Yep, I do. Oh, I don't know. You're raw vegan, Sunshine. I would say most mornings I am a raw vegan. But I do enjoy cooking a lot, so I've never made the full transition. But that's really cool. Do you come and cook on here? I would love to know. I would join your streams if you're doing anything raw vegan. How fun. You are flexitarian, Panda. Okay. And is it recent, or is that something that happened, like it was just how you grew up eating? I would love to know. Let me see if I've missed anything on YouTube. What other questions do you guys have? I was in the hospital, so I am back. Are you? I hope all is well, Sunshine. Panda says that's how you grew up eating. Your mom did it with you in the 70s. So she was the one that introduced you to raw veganism? That's so cool. Let me see if I missed anything. Gareth, okay. I'm sorry I didn't see you on YouTube. He said, aloha from Hawaii. Aloha. She learned from Anne Wigmore. Oh, wait, like she learned personally from her? Or was just like inspired by her? Hi, Shahid. Hi, how are you? Welcome. Oh, thank you, Sunshine. Since you just became a fan, I usually come on here on Tuesdays at 4 p.m. and I cook something. It won't be raw vegan, but it's always plant-based and healthy, basically, most of the time. I don't think I've made anything really unhealthy yet. She went to her school. That's so cool. My daughter is 6, and I would say most of her diet is probably like raw vegan. She just loves eating raw things. When she was really little, we made it so that as soon as she could open up the fridge, we put all of like the fruits and vegetables that she could just like grab and go on the bottom of the fridge, so that way she could become really independent on her food choices. And it's still set up that way. So she like was 2.5 and would like open up the fridge and just like start munching on stuff. So like her favorite stuff to eat most of the day, I would say, is like raw fruits and vegetables. Like she will go and grab carrots and just chomp on them and every sort of food. The Hippocrates Health Institute. Hippocrates Health Institute. That's so cool. Is it still around? And where is it at? I'm not too familiar with it. I'm being really honest with you. Like I've heard of it, but I'm not. I definitely don't have all the info on it. Hungry Panda says, what street foods have you ever tasted that blow your mind? That's a good question. Let me see. It burned down. It was in Boston. Oh, wow. That's so cool, though. Not that it burned down, but that your mom got to go. What street foods have I ever tasted that blew my mind? Oh, my goodness. That's a really good question, Panda, because, I mean, I grew up until I was 8. I lived in Mexico. So, like, street food in Mexico is such a big part of the economy. You know, it's definitely, like, most people, their businesses are off of the major economy, and they're like street vendors. So I feel like I just grew up eating street food. In the US, I don't think I've ever had anything that was street food and was like mind-blowing, because there's not that many vendors that are in the streets, and I feel like those that are so, they're not very good. Like here in New York, you have, you know, like everyone talks about the hot dogs and stuff like that, but I've never had one. When I moved to New York, I was already vegetarian, so I've never actually had one, and they don't even smell good. So it probably has to be Mexico. Street food that blew my mind. Oh my goodness. Blew my mind. it's so hard because I grew up eating street food, you know. But I would probably have to say some of my favorite street food has to be from my part of Mexico where I grew up in, which is called the state of Guanajuato, which is right in the middle of Mexico. And a very common and popular street food there is these enchiladas that are nothing like the Americanized version that most people know, or like the ones that everyone sees all over the internet that are like dripping in sauce and cheese. Not like that. These type of enchiladas are a street food in my state that are made out of potato and a red chili sauce. But instead of like the sauce being really thick and just thrown on top of the tortillas are dipped into it and then they're passed through oil really quick. So like they have these big like disc-like iron discs, if that's what you call them, and they're really hot, and so they almost like a wok, you know, like imagine a wok, but they're almost wider. So they just like dip the tortilla and sauce in there, and then they throw it on this hot disc with a little bit of oil, and it just kind of grabs and changes the flavor profile of the sauce, of the red sauce. And then they stuff them with potatoes, and on top they serve it with tomatoes, fresh tomatoes and onions, and usually cabbage, and like more salsa. You can add cheese. Most of the time they don't. Sometimes sour cream. So when I was little, I'm pretty sure I probably added sour cream. I don't even remember. But definitely like the sauce and the vegetables. So there's some of the most delicious like enchiladas ever. And they're a staple of street food in my state of Mexico. And I would say that's probably one of the most like memorable ones. There's just so much going on in that dish. And it sounds so crazy to people when I tell them potato enchiladas, because they're like, what? Like potato? Like, trust me, it works. Something about the red chile with the potatoes and then the fresh vegetables on top. Oh. And they're naturally plant-based. If you omit putting on any sour cream or cheese, which not a lot of people do anyway. I think that's more of an American thing. They're just so delicious. And they're a street food. Like, I don't think you really find them at restaurants. I mean, maybe now you do. But when I was little, like, it was a street food. And my mouth is watering. Durian. Are you talking about durian fruit? Is that, Sunshine, is that what you mean? Durian fruit was the one that you blew your mind? I tried durian fruits. I love it. You know, I've never had durian. I know. And I actually been wanting to go. There's a neighborhood here out of the city in Queens that has like a really it's a really large community of like, I think it's mostly Chinese, but there's also other like Asian foods there, and they have like this big market, and that's the first time I tried stinky tofu. I was not a fan. I tried. There was a lot going on and I wasn't a fan of it, but I didn't get to try the durian fruit. When I went that day, I was going to try stinky tofu and durian, but after the stinky tofu, I was done. So I need to go back and try durian. I still have not had it. Plátano grande. That is a very common like street food in Mexico City. Like, yeah, that sounds really good. Wait, Sunshine, you live in Phoenix? Really? In like Phoenix, Arizona? That reminds you back to childhood. Yes, vegan farmers market. De la Jojo? What's de la Jojo? Lettuce, avocado, tomatoes. That's probably one of my favorite like sandwiches, is an avocado sandwich or tortas. Potato enchiladas. I actually, Panda, if you want to know about these enchiladas, I have a recipe on my YouTube. It's, I think, the only enchilada recipe that I have on there, actually. Yeah, it's the only one that I have of enchiladas, but it's on there. It's one of my favorites. Like my mom, it was the thing that I would ask my mom to make for on my birthdays when I was little. And last year, I normally don't spend my birthdays with her anymore because she doesn't live in New York. But last year, I was in Arizona and for my birthday, and that's what she made me. And I was so happy because she makes the best ones. Just a nut sauce. Stinky tofu, yep. I make videos, why not make simple and complex carbs? Yes. Hoja? Oh, that's what you meant? De la hoja? De la hoja? Oh, okay. So you live in Phoenix. Okay, so I grew up in Phoenix. So after Mexico, I lived in Arizona in Phoenix. And then I went to school down in Tucson for college. And then after that, like a year after I graduated, I moved to New York City. And there was actually, it was actually in Tucson where I first became vegetarian. And there was such a like good, at that time Phoenix was like not big on anything vegetarian, but Tucson had some really cool stuff, and I was very thankful. Your sister lives in Brooklyn. Aww. I actually have had a lot of the vegan food in Phoenix. When I first became vegetarian, like I said, I was in Tucson, but then when I moved to Phoenix, um, one of the few restaurants that had anything slightly even close to vegetarian was Green, which now I know they have Green in Scottsdale, and they have a Green, and their Nami restaurant, which is the dessert restaurant. Those used to be my favorite, but I feel like I've been vegetarian for so long now that I don't really crave like all of those like mock things anymore. Like I just want vegetables. So I haven't been there in a while, but I have had nami. Like their soy namis are so good. Which is basically, for those of you who don't know, it's a soy-based ice cream like that they make, but you can add different things to it, and they're so good. I think it has a really, really delicious flavor. So they date here in Phoenix. Yeah, I expanded them. Wait, what do you mean? You said the date here in Phoenix expanded them as an architect? Nice cream. Yes, nice cream. Sunshine, I recently made some nice cream here. On one of my streams, I did a butternut squash with pecans. It was so good and so creamy. $20 to go, vegan at 15. Wow. You were really young. Panda says, what dish you well known as? For example, my ex, her cheesecake is what everyone... Oh, what am I known for? That's hard to tell. I think on the internet, the one that people mostly ask me for, just because of MasterChef, is pretty much like working with cactus. So like my cactus dishes, I would say, is probably what I'm most well known for. Just because that was like the dish that I presented on MasterChef, and people continue to watch that. So I have a recipe on my YouTube for that. As far as like people in my family and friends, oh, that's hard. I I don't know. That's a good question, Panda. Definitely my Mexican food, like the really traditional stuff. Like the beans and rice and salsas are typically what most people really continue to ask me for. And the reason why they say is because my type of Mexican cuisine, it's really, really rustic. And it's also from like the central part of Mexico. So it is very different from northern and southern Mexican cuisine, and they say they can't really find that in the US, which I would agree. Like, I genuinely don't know of one restaurant that really makes beans, rice, like the way that my mom and I make, or people from my part of Mexico make. So yeah, like you would think it would be something more crazy, but it's actually just like very simple things like beans and rice from my part of Mexico. Um, yeah, I would say that that's probably one of the ones I'm like most well known for, just in between them, because they say that it's like, hard to find anywhere else. And even for us, sometimes we want to eat Mexican food. Like it's the weekends, and I've been cooking all week, so I want to take a little bit break from food, and there is just nowhere that I can find Mexican food like my style. It is very unique, I would say. And I have a friend who constantly like asks for salsas. I don't know if he's on here today. Sometimes he joins my streams, but he says that my salsas are something that are very, very unique. And I would say too, because again, my type of cuisine it's definitely more rustic. It's like real rustic food, and so for whatever reasons may be, people tend to add a lot of really interesting things to salsas when traditionally they were not full of ingredients. It was just a couple simple ingredients that allowed the food to just talk for itself. So yeah. But good question. But yeah, isn't that interesting? You'd think it'd be something more elaborate, but it's not. It's like very simple Mexican items. You make tuna fruit leather? Ah, like prickly pear cactus tunas? That sounds so good. Panda says, I have to make this fruit leather now. I've never made fruit leather. It wasn't something I really grew up eating. I've had it, obviously, but I've never made it. But with tunas, that sounds so good. Sunshine, you have to start streaming. I will be on there every day. Panda, you never tried cactus. Yeah, so in Mexico, so cactus, if I understand the history of it correctly, it is native to the Americas. Therefore, and then specifically in Mexico, like there's many different kinds of varieties, but there's one specific variety that grows throughout all of Mexico because it's very versatile. It like grows in almost any weather, it is the prickly pear cactus, and it's one of the most like well-known foods of Mexican cuisine, even pre-Hispanic times, just because it grew and it's full of fiber and nutrients and vitamins. It's delicious. It's so, so delicious. And there's many ways to cook it, like countless ways to cook cactus. Oh, it's so delicious. Maybe I should stream one of the easiest ways to make it at home. Like, I feel like anyone can make this recipe. Maybe I should stream it soon. Carob and prickly pear. No corn? I don't know if I understood your question. Maybe I missed it. Sorry, Sunshine, about the corn. Salads matter, 100%. I don't really share most of my food consumption most days because it's usually like salads, just a bunch of fresh vegetables throughout the day. For dinner, I change it up a little bit, but yeah. Ezzy, thank you. Very kind of you. Thank you. Fruit leather. Oh, that sounds good. Never tried this one either. Peru. Oh, Panda, thank you for the 400. Peru apple. I went apple picking this past weekend. I think these are Macintosh apples. They were so good. Panda says, I watch loads of Mexican foodies and foods on YouTube. That's really cool. Do you have a lot of Mexican food near you, Panda? I would love to know. They're like dragon fruit. Ugh. Or wait, the Peru apple? Let's see. Oh, yes, 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 yes. Yes, there's so many different kinds of varieties. I have seen this one. Have you ever had the Mexican dragon fruit, which we call pitayas? Have you ever had that one? It's honestly my favorite kind. When I was growing up in Mexico, my uncle had these two beautiful organ pipe cactus, and those dragon fruits from that, like, uh, there's something so special about them, and they only grow for like 2 weeks at a time in the spring, I think. It's been a while. This year, my little local bodega store, literally like around the corner from me, they're it's a Mexican family, so they sometimes bring a lot of like items that I normally don't find in grocery stores, and I'm so lucky to have them, like forever grateful for them. And they had Mexican dragon fruit, and it was so good. Yellow or red, they're like purple. Let me see if I can show you. I think I can screen share this. Hold on. Mexican pitaya. I also said on Instagram I would answer questions, and I haven't checked them. Let me see if anyone asked anything. Trying to find a good picture for you. Doesn't seem like there's that many. Okay, I'm just gonna screen share. I think I can. Yeah, there you go. So it's these. That's what they look like, and then when you open them, they're like bright purple, like that. Oh, they look more reddish on this screen, but they're like a very deep color, like I would say like reddish purple, and they look like that on the outside. Oh my goodness, my mouth is watering now. But yeah, that's what they look like. I hope that was helpful. They're so good. Panda says, I've never tried those fruits. Oh, they're so good, Panda. If somehow you come across them, like I even have a hard time finding them. But if you ever visit Mexico City, there is a market that's well known for their fruit vendors, literally for fruit. Oh, it makes me so happy. And in the springtime, they will often have them. So much food to explore. Yes, Panda. So many foods. You have them often, Sunshine? Do you find them in Phoenix? I've never found them in Phoenix. Panda said in your area, loads of different cuisines. I'm kind of lucky. Asian, African to Mexican, and within 5 to 10 minutes walk. Nice. Panda, could you please do a mukbang? Like, I would love. Ooh, here. I will do this. If you do a mukbang and you buy Mexican food, I will guest with you and we can talk about it. Year round. Wait, but the Mexicans are just other dragon fruits. I mean, I can find a lot of different dragon fruits here in New York, but not the Mexican ones. Interesting. Okay, someone did ask a question. Okay. It was you, Panda. Are you making a special Halloween stream for the... Oops. Cancel. I think you meant, are you making special Halloween stream for YouNow? I'm assuming? Yeah? haven't thought about it. Probably not. I don't really celebrate Halloween like that. Like, yeah, my daughter, Halloween dishes. Yeah, probably not. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I love fall. Maybe I'll just do more fall things, but I don't think anything specific like for them. Just a theme. Yeah, I don't know. Ooh, wait, is that your YouTube, Sunshine? Sunshine's Orthopathy? I hope I said that correctly. Pumpkins. And you did mukbangs, Sunshine? I have to? Okay, I'm totally going to fan you. And I will have to find you on YouTube. Okay, I'm saving it. Hi, Harshil on YouTube. Hello. You guys, I have a little visitor. 1 second. I'll be right back. Okay. Guys, I'm almost at that 1 hour mark. Does anyone else have any other questions? Who's still here with me? You. Thank you, Panda. Hello again, Ben. You were on the phone? No worries. Ben, does you miss his DMs? That's too funny, Ben. I think Panda's probably right. I'll just drink my coffee, Ben. Oh, okay. I'll be quiet then, Ben. Does anyone else have any other questions? Candace's DMs keep buzzing last night while he was guesting with me. Ben. Panda, what if it was just me sending him dumb, like, cooking videos? Do I add salt to make my fruit sweeter? Good question. I mean, in Mexico, it's really, really common to, making my desk shake with my leg. It's very common to add salt and chili, like dried chili powder or flakes, to fruit and lime juice, not lemon, lime juice. It's really common. So yeah, I used to do it more when I was a child. I think it was just like I was used to it, so it tasted really good, like especially pineapple. Pineapple with some lime juice and salt and chili powder. So special. Watermelon as well. But I don't do it as much anymore. I think as an adult, I just kind of learned to like, the flavor of it. Pineapple. Ben puts all of that. Yeah, like, yeah. But not as much anymore. But I definitely used to. In Mexico, like, fruit vendors were on the street. And it was very common for people to just have, like, stalls. And they would be selling a mixture of fruits and vegetables. So Mostly fruits, I would say. Sometimes vegetables as well, but mostly fruits. And then they'll just put the lime and stuff on them. It was one of the things I missed the most, I think, when I moved to the U.S. Like I couldn't understand, like, why is nobody selling fruits on the street? Like as a kid, I was like, I need my fruit. Where is it? mm. Good question, Panda. Most weirdest foods and fruits I've ever come across. Food, the weirdest, I would have to say it's a traditional dish from my part of Mexico. I'm sorry if any vegetarians or vegans are here. This was when I was a kid and I wasn't vegetarian yet. But there's two that are very memorable because they were so weird. And one of them is, I think in English, and I always mess up the words when I say this, but blood sausage. So they would grab some vegetables and then they would render the blood of animals. And then they stuff it into an intestine. And you get a sausage made out of blood because when you render the blood, it becomes a solid. Parts of it become a solid. And with the vegetables, it kind of like creates a sausage. Black puddings, yeah, some people call it that. And it stinks. Ugh. Yeah, it was gross. But it was one of the things. And like I would try to eat it as a kid because I saw everyone eat it. Like, see, where I grew up, again, like electricity would kind of come and go. I don't even think we had electricity till I was 2 years old. I grew up with electricity, but like obviously everyone in my family didn't. So like, and electricity would, come and go sometimes. So like people were very used to not cooking with meat like every day. Because sometimes you wouldn't have a fridge. So when somebody murdered an animal for consumption, everything was eaten. Everything, like every part of the animal, right? Including the blood. And they would make these blood sausages because I guess it was like a way to sort of preserve it for longer periods of time. And so I would see everyone in my family eating it, and it was like such a big deal, and everybody loved it. And it was one of the weirdest ones. It coagulates, yeah. Yeah, I was not a fan. And it stinks. Like, your whole house stinks when you make that. Ugh. So that one's weird. The second one is cow brain. It was very common. I don't know if it's still a thing because I'm sure regulations have changed. But in my part of Mexico, like it's so weird that we like ate that. I mean, I guess it, they were murdering the animals, so they were using all parts of it, so I can appreciate that. But like, it was very common even for butcher shops, because in that area, I mean, everyone has like a very specific business for everything. So like the butcher sold nothing but like animal products. And they would use all the parts, and they would sell all the parts, including cow brains. And what they would do is they would make them into tacos. So it would almost be like a ground beef looking like thing. And then they would make them into tacos. They would like stuff them in tortillas and then deep fry them. And they were a thing that you would buy outside of butcher shops. Ugh. Ben has seen tamales with the brains too. Yeah. Sounds like Chinese people, they eat everything, like everything. Yeah. I mean, and again, I understand, like I grew up in the middle of nowhere. Electricity came and went. Some people still didn't have electricity. So like in the town, everyone ate everything. And like I said, I can appreciate that because if you're going to kill an animal, like I guess you should at least use it all. But those are the two weirdest foods. As far as fruits, I would say that the cacao pod The fresh fruit cacao is really weird. It smells delicious. It looks weird. It looks like eggs from an animal, from an alien. I don't know. We're probably the aliens. But yeah, like cacao pods. I think they're really weird looking, but they taste delicious. And like you're just kind of like sucking on them, right? Like there's not much meat to them. It's just like you're just tasting it. Yeah. Again, I really apologize to any vegans or vegetarians with all the weird blood and brains talk, but I was being honest. Panda, yes. I was very lucky to try them this year. I made a video about it on my YouTube, like first impressions. Really delicious. But yeah, I think they're weird for sure. And I'm pretty sure I would probably say durian if I've ever had it, but I've never had durian. I also think jackfruit, like fresh jackfruit, looks weird. But it tastes good, you know, and I use it. You love jackfruits too. They're so good, like especially if you can get fresh one. Like in Mexico, they are common in the southern part of Mexico. So when I visit, sometimes I can find like a good amount. Oh, I know another weird fruit that maybe you've never had it. So it's very common in Mexico, and I will show you. It's called black zapote. Oh, I did spell it wrong. And it's literally black. Like it looks, so on the outside is green. Let me show you some images. Oh, this is one of the most interesting ones. I can't believe I forgot about this one. Let me share it with you. So I'm just trying to find pictures here. But on the outside, yeah, they look greenish like this. And then they sort of start getting like dark. And then when you open them, they literally are black. Like literally black, like this. And you eat them, like you literally, like how the spoon has it here, like you just literally scoop them up and eat them. And they are so good. They taste like a chocolate pudding. And many people say that, and I will agree. Like, it really does taste like a chocolate pudding. And they're sweet, but not overly sweet. The consistency is like a pudding. They're soft. I think it tastes like chocolate pudding. But they're weird. They look like... Okay, Panda, you had kids. Do you remember? Do you remember a baby's first poop? And how it looks like black tar? Like, that's what it looks like. See, yes, okay. That's what it looks like. But it's good. It's really good. Yeah, that's the best description I could have for it. And again, I think it is, I don't know where it originated from. Let me see. Native to. I thought it was from Mexico, but maybe I am wrong. It's from the persimmon family. And I'm trying to find where. Okay, yeah, so it seems like it's native to Mexico and Central America. So yeah, so southern Mexico and then Central America. Really, really cool. And if you go to Mexico City, you'll find them. Hi, other panda. The official. Wait, Panda, I want to know, like, I don't know who he is. I know you know who he is, but I don't know who he is. And he has fooled me before. Okay, I'm at an hour and 12 minutes. Does anyone else have any other questions? Let me see if I missed anything. Aw, Harshi, thank you. So kind of you. Okay, I have my daughter has a question for me. I'll be right back, guys. 1 second. I think she's at the end of waiting for me. She has played on her own enough. Hi, Olivia. I am not cooking today. I just came on here to answer questions about food or recipes or anything food related, cooking related. It's so nice to see you. How was your day? Michael on YouTube, how are you? No question, but just saying hey. I know it has been such a long time. Oh. By the way, I met Michael when he visited New York once, right after I had been on MasterChef. And then I followed him on Instagram after that, and I love seeing the pictures of you and your family. Like, you have such a beautiful family, and it's so sweet. You become such a sweet dad. I feel like I know you, even though I've only met you once, but thank you for stopping by. Thank you, Olivia, for inviting your fans. You just woke up. You've had a nice weekend. Were you up late? Did you go out partying? I know you don't really party, but I know you you have fun. Oh, little heart. I really do. I mean that. Like, I love watching your stories. And I don't always comment on them because, sometimes you're just like going through people's stories, but it's so beautiful. I think I'm almost at the end, guys, but this week took a toll on me. Super busy. I hope you got to rest and while you slept in. And I hope you get good news soon as well. Yeah. I think I'm almost at the end unless you guys have more questions. Sorry, Olivia. I've been on here for a little bit, and usually when I stream, either my daughter is being taken care of or I'll let her watch a little bit of TV. We try to do not like as minimal screen time as possible, and she loves it when I stream because she gets to watch some screen time, but I think she's done. Minimum screen time, yes. Hello, Jason. Welcome. I am almost at the end of my stream, but I'm here answering questions about food or cooking. I usually come on here on Tuesdays and cook something, but today I'm just answering questions and drinking my coffee. Oh, thank you, Jason. Have I ever made vegan mole? Yes. Good question, Olivia. I mean, they're all really good questions, but you just made me excited because I love mole. Yes, I have made vegan mole. I'm gonna share with you. I have my mom. I think anyone who's ever had her mole, like they love her mole. She makes a really really delicious, beautifully balanced. Like she takes all day to make it. She puts so much love into it. It was another one of the dishes that I asked her for, like on my birthdays when I was little. She makes delicious mole. So my mole is basically a veganized version of hers. And then I make it with plantains. And I know that sounds weird because normally you would serve it with chicken or turkey. But there's something really beautiful in the plantains and the mole. And then especially if you serve it and eat it the way that like I grew up eating it, which was with like a fresh salad made with cabbage and tomatoes and onions and lime juice. With rice. Yeah, so I have made vegan mole and I love it. What is mole? Good question, Panda. So mole, the easiest way that I can describe it to you is sort of like Mexico's version of a curry. You know, curry in Asian cuisine, there's so many different ways to make it, so many renditions, so many, like some are sweeter, some are, you know, spicier, stuff like that. So mole in Mexico is one of the most traditional dishes from pre-Hispanic times. It's made with a lot of chilies, dried chilies, and chocolate, always chocolate, and other ingredients. And so the recipe of it, there is one that most people have come to like a consensus of like that's like the most traditional way. But from there, there's also many different kinds. I actually have a recipe on my YouTube for a carrot mole, which is like it's a very different, it's definitely not one of the common ones, but it's really, really delicious. And on that recipe, I serve it with cauliflower, if I remember correctly. And you said, so yeah, it's one of the most traditional dishes of Mexican cuisine. But there's many different kinds, and every family will tell you that their way is the right way to make it. And I mean, it's Mexican cuisine, you know? It's almost like curry. Like, could you say that there is one recipe that is the only one way to make curry? Like, probably not, right? Tornadicane. Hopefully I said that right. Thank you for becoming a fan. And yes, with plantains. Have I thought of using jackfruit as a protein? I have. I just there's something about the jackfruit that I don't think will mix well with it. But if you remember on one of my streams on here where I cooked the king trumpet mushrooms and made them into like sort of like a shredded chicken like, that will also work really well with mole. But the plantains work really, really good. And I have a recipe on my YouTube actually for jackfruit tacos. It's an old recipe, but I would still say it's still like a really delicious way to work with them. Oh, you did see that on YouTube. Okay, yeah. Yeah, see, I like jackfruit, bad biscuits. I do like it, but it's sort of hard. Like if you're having to use canned jackfruit, sometimes the brine that it comes in is a little bit weird. Like it can, like I feel like you have to add more to it to make it taste good. But with the king trumpet mushrooms, it would work really, really easily. I don't have the plantain mole on my YouTube. I really should. See, one of the reasons I don't have the recipe on there is because, oh, Jason, thank you for becoming a fan, by the way. One of the reasons I don't have that recipe on there is because it's a really lengthy recipe. And I have found that the majority of my viewers on YouTube like simpler recipes. Like whenever I post recipes that are really long and intricate, the response is never as exciting as when I make something simpler. And I think it's because I wouldn't say all, but I think the majority of my subscribers on YouTube have like they're just trying to find recipes to make easier, you know, if that makes sense. Like, I don't think a lot of them are like chefs or anything like that. So yeah, I've never put it on there, but I can share it with you. What foods and snacks you serve for your family outdoors barbecue? That's a good question, Panda. I have actually, I have actually, I haven't cooked for a family barbecue in a really long time. Maybe the closest to it would be when I was in Arizona last time and we were cooking outside because of COVID. I don't know if that really counts, but I haven't really had like an official barbecue in years. Like in New York, some people barbecue at the park, but like that's not really my thing. Um, but what would I serve? Hmm. I know what I would serve. I haven't had a burger in a really long time. I got really sick the first time I ever tried the Impossible Burger. Like, my body rejected that so bad. It was, I have not, ever since I tried the Impossible Burger, I basically stopped eating burgers. It was that bad. Tech guy tried it. He was the one that bought it. I only had one bite out of it. And that is one reason why I cannot recommend those mock meats, because I think they are highly, highly processed. Long story short, I haven't had a burger since then, almost 2 years ago. But I have a really, really good recipe for quinoa burger patties that taste amazing. Like, they have so much flavor in them. So I would probably serve that. They're so good and they're versatile. Like, I feel like depending on what ingredients you're adding to it and what kind of bread you're adding to it, it can either taste like a really good sandwich patty or it can taste like a burger patty. And I would probably grill stuff. Like, I just love grilled vegetables. I have a cast iron that has like the grill lines that I use at home for like just grilling vegetables. It's so good. Or maybe some type of taco. But probably I would serve those burger patties. And maybe I'll make them. They're really, really easy to make. The Impossible Burger is plant-based. Yeah. I mean, plant-based. I think it's one of those things that's like, I'm not going to shame anyone in eating it. Obviously, if you just became vegan, like, you're probably searching for things that remind you of foods that you've eaten your whole life. So I do think they're like great for transitioning. But I definitely do not think it's a healthy product. Like, the way that they're made is basically in a lab. So it is highly processed. As much as they say is plant derived, my body would disagree. I don't really eat processed foods. Like, I don't, you know, even like mock meats, like, it's pretty rare that I eat like seitan, you know, which, depending on what kind of seitan you buy, it could be processed, it could be not be that processed. But yeah, like, my body just doesn't do well with processed foods. Hi Mike, thank you for becoming a fan. Impossible Burgers got you sick too? Really? Ugh. See, I've heard like a lot of people, like, it just doesn't sit well with their stomach. It's, yeah. I think there's so many I mean, and that's the thing too, like, I haven't had meat in such a long time that when I tasted that burger, it was like, it was sorry guys, I'm clicking the wrong one. When I had that burger, it tasted so much like meat that it was a little weird, you know, like, I just haven't had meat in forever. And I think there's so many different ways, like lentil and beet burgers. Oh, so delicious. Again, I haven't had it in forever. You make your own veggie burgers. Yeah, I think it's so much healthier. Like, you can use all types of beans, right? Like garbanzo beans and lentils and beets. I like to make mine with quinoa and sweet potato. I mean, it's just so easy, and they have so much more flavor. And a black bean burger, it's, I would say black beans are probably my least favorite kind of burger patties. They kind of fall apart too much, in my opinion. Um, but yeah. Okay, I keep saying I'm going and then I'm still here. This has been really fun. It's my first time streaming just to talk to you guys without cooking. I almost came on here to make scones because I have these currants that I need to use before they go bad. And I was gonna make some scones with currants and veganize them. And it's been a while since I've made, it's been a really, really, really long time since I've made scones. Which, by the way, Panda, do scones mean something different in the UK? In America, I have learned that scones are like, they're like this bread thing, right? Like sweet bread thing, and they kind of look like this size, like that. Am I wrong? Wait, you're laughing. Am I wrong? What are scones to you guys? There's two types of scones. Okay, can you please tell me? Do you want to guest with me and tell me about them? I think I have headphones. It's okay if you can. You have savory and sweets. Okay. Okay, that's fine if you can. Okay. Yeah, I've had both. I've had savory and I've had sweet. I was gonna make sweet ones. But they are like the same. Savory is cheese. Ah, okay. Yeah, I've had both. I should probably move my screen here so I can see your comments better. Olivia, I would love to know, especially because you were vegan for such a long time too. What is your favorite kind of like vegan patty or plant-based patty? It's the shape like American biscuits. Ah, okay. That makes so much more sense. We have the cracker biscuit debate all the time. Cracker and biscuit. That's so funny. There's so many like different words, right? You made a diagram for foods debate? Oh my gosh. I want to see this diagram now. Fries and chips, uh-huh. What else you guys? Lollies and popsicles, I think it's another one, right? There's so many. But yeah, I was gonna make scones with currants. I have these beautiful golden currants that I need to use. And then I was like, I never like just sit and talk. I sometimes feel like when I'm cooking, I love to talk to you guys, but sometimes I feel like I'm probably missing something. Would you guys like to see more of these types of streams too, where I just come and answer your questions? Hi, Stowbrew. Thank you for becoming a fan. I will be back on Tuesday at 4 and cook something. I still haven't decided. If you have suggestions for that stream, I think I may be doing something with tofu, but I'm not sure. I'm doing really well. I'm almost at the end of the stream, but thank you. How are you? Are you having a good Sunday? Talking is fun. Chit chat stream, sure. Oh, okay. Good. Maybe the next one I'll actually like eat something with you guys. I mean, I am eating an apple, but like official food. Bad Biscuit says, I actually like the black bean patties. When I worked in this catering company, they made the best black bean sliders. Ooh. Maybe I haven't had the best one. But I feel like a lot of the ones I've ever had, like, I like them, but I feel like other items can make even better ones. I don't know, my opinion. But maybe the ones you've had, Olivia, were like delicious. You're good. Oh, good. Not wrong time, but yeah, I'm at the end of my stream. But I will be back on Tuesday at 4 p.m. Eastern. Next time we have to go guest with you. Yes, and Panda, if you do a mukbang, I will guest with you, especially if it's Mexican food. And we will talk about the items that you eat. You'll be sleeping them? Oh, I'm sorry. I sometimes on Thursdays will stream in the morning. That would be interesting. The mukbang with Panda. Yeah, he says he has Mexican food near him. I would love, like, I'm just interested in what kind of Mexican food is across the pond. And then we can, like, talk about it. Yeah. I told Sakharin the same thing, too. I don't think he's on here anymore, but I said if you find Mexican food, I will guest on your stream while you eat. But this has been really fun, guys. I do have to get back to my daughter. Tech guy is out filming today, so he can watch her. You saw his stories? Yeah, he's out filming something really fun today. A skate video? No, it's a music video, but there's like a lot going on in that video. Like if all goes well, I think it'll be a really fun video. He's not editing the video though, so we'll see how it gets edited by the editor, but he is filming. Thank you, Olivia. You take care as well. I hope you have a restful Sunday since your week was so eventful. I'm glad that you got to sleep in. Panda, yes, thank you. I love that little sticker. Yeah, you guys have a good rest of your Sunday. Ben, I think you're probably in and out, but thank you so much for joining me. Let me know if you have suggestions for what I should cook on Tuesday. I think I'm going to be doing something with tofu and Asian-ish inspired, but I haven't decided yet. Oh, Ben, you're there. But yeah, I hope you have a good day too, Ben. Panda, thank you to everyone who joined me, and I will be back on Tuesday at 4 p.m. Eastern to cook something. Bye, guys.